But I can't trust no bitch, they be deceiving me. Who are you? Exactly who I needed to be.
Please leave a like and a comment on this video because it really helps me in the algorithm. Thank you, and I appreciate it more than you'll ever know.
What's good, y'all? I'm glad to have you guys back so soon for another video because I wanted to show you guys one of the most ignored and unused techniques in Fight Night as a whole, and especially in the open weight class. And instead of using training footage, once again, we're going to be stepping into the ring. I'm going to be showing you footage from a real fight where I applied this technique throughout the entire fight and somehow managed to absolutely shut down my opponent's offense and still maintain defense as well. So let's get started. Now that I have a better mic and some better equipment with me now, I can now talk more freely and a bit longer without feeling like I have to edit my audio. So as we look at those punch stats, you would have seen that my reach was way longer than his. Now, the tip that I wanted to show you guys about this fight, and literally the only thing I kind of changed up really about my style, was that I now fight in the switch stance. Now, switch stance fighting is so ignored, so slept on, so unused by most people unless they want to just cheese and throw the straight all day, or just throw that rear uppercut. But as a whole, it can really shut down someone's offense because most people are not ready for someone in the switch stance because they may have never encountered it online, especially somebody that's decent with it or even great with it. Me personally, I'm still pretty mediocre at using it. I can still work my jab and my straight, but for the most part, I'm just jabbing this guy out. I'm just gonna stay in the switch stance and chill. Now he tried to do it. He saw me go switch stance and tried to do it himself and realized that wasn't gonna work. So he went back to what he knew, just staying in the regular stance. And I'm gonna take full advantage of that. And I'm gonna take full advantage of this reach advantage. I'm not gonna, try to throw a bunch of power shots, try to get him out of there early. It's not really necessary. I'm just gonna take my time, be patient, use my reach, jab straight, take advantage of these counter punching opportunities, and just rack up points. Just win rounds, keep my stamina up, wear his stamina down, get to the body where I can. Just stay patient. It's a 10-round fight. And another thing that you guys tend to make a lot of mistakes on is that you start touching shit. You just start touching shit. And you shouldn't be touching shit. Stop touching shit, bro. Alright? If you have something that's working in a fight, alright, just do that. Keep doing it. If you feel like you're winning the rounds and you're not taking a whole lot of damage, don't do anything else. Just keep doing that. I'm going to throw a 1-2 with this man in the switch stance for as long as I can because I know you have nothing for it. And when I get the opportunity, I'm going to counter. Now, when I got this stun, it did kind of catch me a bit off guard, but it's fine. I just move on, come back in the next round, and I stick to the exact same game plan. I stay on the outside, I stick to what set up those punches, set up that big hook at the end there, and that was just jabbing straight, staying on the outside, working my magic, counter punching mostly, letting him leap in with those shots, and just catching him slipping every single time. I work the jab when I can. Anytime he's not throwing, I might come in with like a little jab, 1-2. Stay on the outside because he's looking to come in and throw hooks and uppercuts, and I just don't want to let him do that. It's literally just a classic, a short range inside guy versus an outside fighter. As you can see, I'm still sticking to the same game plan that I've been teaching you guys with my tutorial series. I still am trying to keep my feet moving, staying away from him mostly, just trying to stay on that outside, stay away from his punches, using my feet first to get away from those strikes when he tries to throw back, instead of just relying on the block. He's occasionally catching me on the inside a bit when I'm coming in to strike with him, but it's not enough for him to win a round at all. And we're still trying to come in, get him baiting him a bit, trying to get him to throw. Still getting our punches off. And that right there, see that? Those hooks he's throwing though, those punches he's throwing in the air, that is the number one thing you want your opponent doing, because that is your money right there, especially when you're defending yourself. You want to drop down their stamina as much as you can, and that's one of the best ways to do it besides going to the body. If you could get them to throw in air and immediately counter to their body afterwards especially, you could do a lot of damage. And as we head into this next round, you got to peek there. I am currently still at 100% stamina going into round 3. Now, as you've seen the way I've been boxing, I mean, I've already managed to get a stun and do a decent amount of damage and have him second guessing himself. So in addition to being able to dish out some damage and keep that damage away and drop his stamina, I'm also managing my own stamina very well. Now the way stamina works in Fight Night, I mean, it's not very complex, honestly. I think I might have it figured out. I don't think it's really about not throwing a lot of punches. I think it's just when you miss a lot of punches, you don't recover much. And it's also based off how much you get hit as well, how much you make your opponent miss. So if you can do both of those things, basically just box well overall, and you're not throwing too crazy, I think you get back just about all your stamina, if not most of it, when you're in these fights, if you just box well. And here, he's coming in with more hard shots that are just hitting air and hitting my block. And that's exactly what I want to see. When I start seeing that, like more and more over time, I know I'm getting to him, at least mentally. Especially if he wasn't throwing these hard, wild shots in the beginning. When he starts to just come in and just really wing them, that's when I know he's getting desperate. And you're also seeing, as he's whiffing these punches, you can hear the heavy breaths that his fighter is taking because his stamina is getting low. He's throwing himself out just a bit, and he's throwing power shots too and hitting absolutely nothing. This is great for me. You know, I'm eating this up. You know, when I was in this fight and I saw him doing that, I was just thinking, yeah, I know exactly what I need to do now. I've got him. I can just sit back, relax, and let the win come to me at this point. Right, now as we come into this round, you can see I've actually managed to box so well that I managed to get a 10-8 round on him without a knockdown. For people who have not seen that before, yes, it is possible to beat your opponent so bad that you get a 10-8 without a knockdown. So that's a good sign that I'm defending myself well still, and I'm making him miss a lot. Now, as we move later on in this round, this is where I start to like to kind of mix in hooks a bit more, you know, start to throw some more power punches out there. I know I haven't spoken much about what upgrades I put on my players, so I can break that down for you here. My jab and my straight both are below level 5, so I don't have the minor stun for the straight. And I also don't have whatever comes at level 5 for the jab. I forgot what it's called. I think it's blinding jab, which you got a chance to leave them open. I don't have that. But I believe I now have minor stun on both of my hooks to the head, which makes you think, Chico, why do you not throw hooks more if you have those as like your highest punches? And it's just because it's less risk. When you're throwing a jab straight, especially I made a fighter with a longer reach, it just wouldn't make sense to be coming in throwing hooks, especially because I mostly get matched up with guys with a shorter reach than me. Or if I match up with the guys with the same reach as me, they don't know how to throw jabs and straights that well. They definitely don't work their jab much. So, I mean, I just take full advantage of that. The jab is just my favorite punch, and the straight is just like the fastest punch to throw behind it. It just makes sense to use, especially against guys with shorter reaches than me. And also a little fact about my player, again, for those who don't know, it does show that I'm an 80 overall when you see me on when I queue up with someone. I'm actually still a 79 overall. I just still I utilize the physicals boost. If you don't know about those, basically like the little bronze, gold, silver little metal things that you can apply to physicals like your conditioning, your strength, your speed, and all that. I have those on just so I can move around the ring better and protect myself better. And those raise my overall up. So actually, without those boosts, actually I don't even think I'm a 79. I actually think I'm still a 78. So I'm still at that base overall for my first ever open weight class video where I wasn't even speaking back then. So I'm still at that overall. I just don't play this game as much as you guys think I do. Well, we're gonna skip to the end of this round too, just to trim some of the fat off. I know some of these longer videos may be like a bit much for you guys, so what I'm gonna start doing is kind of like skipping through some like the in-between rounds. I'm probably gonna stop posting just like full fights and at least kind of sort of get to the point in this video. I think you guys are kind of starting to understand the point that I'm trying to get across here. But just some more tips about fighting in the switch stance. Real life boxing tips still apply. Those rules are still in effect here. So if you look at our outside feet, especially when I land that straight or if I land a left hand strike mostly, my foot, if you look it down like the feet of where my front leg is versus his front leg, whenever my front leg is on the outside of his, that left hand lands almost every single time. Unless like he weaves or he gets his block up, that left hand is tagging him all day long. And that's one thing that those guys don't know. And that's why I waited kind of deeper in the video before I dropped this as a reward for the people who watch my videos all the way through. And here's where he starts to break down. I've gotten his stamina so low over these rounds that just a jab to the body stuns him. Now he's gonna take his standing 8 count to get right back up. It's only one knockdown. And I'm not really gonna rush in and try to just destroy him. I'm gonna stay patient. But I mean, he's so hurt and his stamina is so low that I know for a fact I can get him stunned again, and that's exactly what happens. And there I kind of realized that he hurried up and got up that time. Last time he took a standing 8. That time he made sure to get up as quick as he could because he might have been scared that he might have messed up on the minigame and not gotten to his feet. So I just ride out the rest of this round and I just take my free 10-8. And I go back to the corner, and as you see, going into round 7, my stamina is still at over 90%. It's actually at 100%. I'm still at max power going into this round. So I know I basically haven't won. Fight's basically over. We're just waiting on the kill shot to come. And basically what we're seeing now from this point until the end of the fight is how much you can really depreciate a fighter's stamina and how short their combos can really get and how slow they can become when you really like fight in this style that I fight in, where I'm mostly just like staying on the outside, counter punching, baiting a lot of open-ended strikes that just hit nothing. That's when you take someone into deep water like this. Most of the time, they're not used to fights going this far, and you need to be comfortable with your fights going this far. You need to be willing to go into these late rounds, and all of that comes with just simple patience. And as you can see, I finally go back into my standard orthodox stance at the end of the fight. Now I'm actually trying. I actually have access to all my weapons there. And you see he doesn't last very long at all. And while it is possible to get up from this many knockdowns, this guy does not get up from this. This is the end of the fight. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Definitely give me some feedback on what you think of this kind of new editing style. I'm definitely experimenting quite a bit. Also with this mic, I'm experimenting quite a bit. So in some parts, while I'm editing, I'm kind of seeing that like the audio quality isn't exactly where it should be. Like now it's kind of fixed here at the end. And this is probably going to use in the future. So we should have much better mic quality. We should have much better edits. So these videos should never be as boring as they were going forward. So thank you guys for supporting me as much as you have so far. Now we can start having fun with the way we make these videos. So thank you. Drink water.
We in this life, just do your part. I'm tryna park, bitch, move your cart. These niggas wishing on the shooting star, but when you shine, they shoot your car. Stab me in the back and watch the knife as it go through my heart. But damn, I can't be mad, cause that's what happened when you move with sharks. They fucking with the music, this is the revolution.